right, it's a Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, about 5:21 p.m. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. It's 99 degrees Fahrenheit inside the car. I didn't check the weather bug, so it's probably about I'd say maybe 96, 97. It's a little hotter in the car. All right, there's Kitty, or Critter. It's actually called Critter. He's part of the mirror critter species. So you live, laugh, and smell good. Mirror critters. And this is a part where you get to watch me pick up food at restaurants and drop it off at your doorstep. We did get one at Wings, so we're gonna call that one out. And I'm gonna reset my accumulated info. Yesterday we did about 103, probably a little less than that, in the actual deliveries. All right, here we go off to Wings, right by the base. We got one at Wings, 0.9 mile. We'll arrive at 5:26 p.m. All right, got a little $2 at Wings. All right. Are we ready for the Wings delivery? 5:50 arrival, 19 minutes, 13 miles on our way for delivery. All right, got one at Panera Bread, 6:13 arrival, 3 minutes, 1.1 miles for the delivery. Well, actually for the pickup, and then the delivery will be in a minute. All right, this Panera Bread is on its way. 6:34 arrival, 9 minutes, 3.2 miles for the delivery. Kilpatrick Avenue. Don't really Kilpatrick, it's just returning on Kilpatrick Avenue. Excuse me. Nurse's station, got it. Hi, station 3 for drop off? This way, okay. All right, got one at Charleston's. 6:52 arrival, 5 minutes, 1.8 miles. All right, this Charleston's on its way. 7:09 arrival, 11 minutes, 4.1 miles for the delivery. Goes by King David. How you doing, King David? King David. Seems kind of serious. I asked him his name. He said his name was King David. All right, got one at Rockfish. 7:16 arrival, 1 minute, 0.3 miles for the pickup. Yeah, Rockfish has under $10 lunch. Here we go with the Rockfish delivery. 7:36 arrival, 13 minutes, 6.9 miles. On our way for the delivery. Jackalope. Guy gave it to me wrong that time. It's right on the app though. You haven't seen Patches, have you? All right, got a mellow mushroom, 8:06 delivery, 6 minutes, 2.1 miles. Hello, Castro Man. How's the pizza? Meadow mushroom. All right, this mellow mushroom's on its way. 8:17 p.m. for the arrival. 4 minutes, 1.7 miles. Got one at Shake Shack, already here. All right, Shake Shack on its way. 8:55 p.m., 10 minutes, 7.2 miles. All right, someone forgot to tip. It's Little Caesars on our way. 9:16 arrival, 8 minutes, 3.8 miles for the pickup. All right, Little Caesars on its way. 9:26 arrival, 5 minutes, 2.5 miles. Red trailer is E. I don't know what a ramp side is though. That's the ramp. Ramp side. Looks like a pretty bad motorcycle accident. We're right in the River District, crossing the Trinity right here. 9:52, he's laying on the ground. Lady in medical, maybe a nurse stopped or something. Ambulance hadn't got there yet. It's two motorcycles. One's still standing, the other one's on the ground. And the guy's laying on his side. Looks like he may be unconscious. Date is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. It's about 9:52 p.m. When I passed by, he wasn't moving, he was laying on his side. A lady was kneeling down beside him on the phone. She was wearing all blue, probably a medical outfit. Looked like his bike was falling over on this side of the road, on the other side of the bridge. So his bike was falling over, looked like it was damaged. Looked like a street bike. Maybe with it. I don't know, I didn't get a good look at the bike really. I don't want to try to describe it. He was wearing a tan colored shirt laying on his side. Maybe mid-30s. Couldn't really tell. The road that it happened on was right next to, or actually the bridge was right next to Jamel's. Yeah, here it comes right here. That's the ambulance that will come to try to get him. That's probably a fire truck, but they can still do. They can still get him there in a fire truck if they need to. Looks like it's pretty serious. Yeah, there's the first responders. Well, that was the first responders. There's the police. It's going to be also 2 police officers. They could probably get in there too. The ambulance should be coming. Yeah, it's going to be the ambulance right there. Hopefully, that's another officer. And that would be the ambulance. It happened on this side of the road. .55. When I passed, it was 9:52. There was already a crowd gathered before I got there. And there was a few cars that were stopped, a few trucks that were stopped. Some with their lights off. I think 2 or 3 of the cars, their lights were completely off. Ambulance just went down that way. So it's probably going to take up the back roads to get there by the UNT Medical Center to get here. I'll show you where I spotted the accident. Let's see. Curves down right here, and there is the bridge. Right there. That's exactly where the motorcycle. The guy was laying on the other side of the road in the median. Right about here. Right about there. On this side though. Yep. On the actual road. Right about there. Gotta go. Alright, got one at Wingstop. 0.2 miles, 10 p.m. Central Time. All right, this Wingstop order is on its way. 10:14 p.m., 8 minutes, 2.8 miles for the delivery. Slow moving train comes, there's a way we can go around. It's actually probably quicker this way anyway. Go down Carroll, just take the bridge over. It's in the historic district anyway. All right, we got a Taco Bell, 1028, 2.6 miles for the pickup. All right, this Taco Bell delivery is on its way. 10:36 arrival, 3 minutes, 1.3 miles for the delivery. All right, thank you. My car just got towed. I was only there for like maybe 20 seconds. All right, this is absolutely ridiculous. I was only there for maybe a few minutes. All right, 3:31 to get it out. All right, so it happened at the Huntley. There was some officers that were called for another call, and I did show them how long I was there. I was there for 6 minutes to drop off the order. And that's how quick they got it. They say they do that at the Huntley for everyone that parks after hours and future resident just for a second. And I almost didn't park there too. So I'm headed back right now. This is where they're located. Right off Goddard Road. Gilmore. In that area. All right, I'm gonna head back and collect my bearings. There you are, kitty. We got a tough few weeks ahead of us. All right, kitty. First, we want to feed the outdoor cats. Outdoor kitties first. So, I know you're hungry. Come down this way. Let's split this for these two. 1 and 2. That's for Amy, known as Amy the Witch and Skinny Midnight, Midnight Kitty, and Tabby. You get yours in a minute. Here we go. Here we go, Tabby. Here we go. You can have a little bit more, Amy. There we go. Come here, Tabby. Come on. Here we go. Here we go with today's kitty. There's one kitty, 9 lives, and each life has a number, numbers 1 through 9, and swirl the cat food. And pick a cat food. Today's kitty will be having Sheba, roasted chicken entree. Here we go, kitty. Just pull the tab just like this, just like that. And you're good to go. Now show them how you do it, kitty. There you go. Kitty's magic. Loves it. The chicken entree. Now, remove this right here. Just like that. That way, it won't fall on the ground. And what will I have? Tonight I'm going to have these little sliders, little chicken sliders from this thing of chicken. Probably a few sliders. I don't need to vlog it. You don't need me. You don't need to see me eat chicken sliders, and I've had enough for tonight. But I'm gonna be out there for longer hours now, and I'm still gonna have to minimize how I do the show because the longer I do it, the more difficult it becomes. So there'll probably be a lot of logistic calls. Like, arrival time, blah, 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 12:25, 0.6 miles, 7 minutes or whatever, however I do it. Arrival time, 12:25, 7 minutes, whatever, 4.6 miles, whatever. It'll be a lot of that kind of stuff, so I'm sorry, but I have to log that. All right, y'all have a good night. All right, so I'd like to say a few things about tonight and getting towed. That was not my first time to get towed. I got towed when I worked for Angie Services out in Dallas. I worked as a house cleaner, and we would clean houses and things like that. In that instant, we did a separate vlog about that, and we know that the towing companies are a little shady. That happened in right next to Carrollton, Louisville. It happened in Louisville. Tonight's towing happened in front of the Huntley in Fort Worth, Texas. The Huntley's an apartment. There was a kind man on the 2nd floor, or no, I think it may be the 3rd floor or something. He saw my car get towed. Now, I went in to drop off the Taco Bell, so I work delivery, and I delivered the Taco Bell. The lady asked me to go to, I think, her fourth floor or something like that. I was only gone for 6 minutes, and by the time I got back, the car was gone. It was like horrifying. Like that movie, 8 minutes, or was it 8 seconds flat or something with Nicolas Cage. Okay, I'm still shook up about it. All right, Cole. It's called Gone in 60 Seconds, directed by Dominic Sena, and yes, starring Nicolas Cage. I would like to say thank you. I believe his name is Cam. He was a nice man that saw it, and then he saw me on the sidewalk. He told me what happened. He saw the towing truck come up. It was an L&C towing company. They're right off of Goddard Street. I believe that's Goddard. It may be an avenue. But a few blocks, a couple miles away or more, across kind of the highway. I didn't really think it would happen in Fort Worth. I was parked in a future resident parking, and right behind the sign there's a towing sign for LNC. I don't know if it says LNC. It probably doesn't, but it has the phone number to the towing yard. Cam saw it. I said, is there any way that you could possibly take me to, the towing yard, where they keep the towed vehicles? He said, yeah, I'll help you. Just hang on. I asked another lady. He took him some time, I guess, to get his car, and she said she couldn't. But he ended up helping me because I didn't have his phone number. I didn't know how long it would take him. It took about maybe 10 minutes to get to his vehicle, and then he said that they'd even towed him. And there were 3 or 4, maybe 5 cars that were towed. Give me one moment. Sorry about that, guys. So he basically, he helped me out. And so I got there, and there was like maybe 4 or 5 other cars that were just coming in from being towed around town. So I want to bring light to some of the scams and the shadiness of the towing business. They don't always make the signs clear. It was a smaller sign. It was behind the future resident sign. I was simply gone for 6 minutes to drop off a Taco Bell order, and by the time I got back, boom, the vehicle was gone. I was able to get it back. If you'd like to help out in the situation, my PayPal is listed. You can help because I am going to have to work extra. I just wanted to kind of bring light. Now, the people that were in front of me were very, very upset. Their car was towed for some reason in Fort Worth. They got in an argument with the clerk. There was just a little window that you look through. You don't even see the clerk on the other side. The guy, Cam, he said he'd helped a few other people out, or that he had been towed and knew the lady, or knew that the lady took a long time. And this lady got very upset with her and kind of jostled the Verifone, or whatever you want to call it, the machine that you pay on, or jostled something. I think probably some paperwork is what she did. I didn't see it all. And they wouldn't even serve her. They wouldn't even help her. They wouldn't even let her pay to get her vehicle. So she called the police. And the police that showed up, they were professional. The lady was a little strict. There was a lady officer and a male officer. And I would like to thank both of them for at least addressing me. They addressed the issue at hand with the people first that were upset with the clerk. Now, one thing that I did was the gate opened, and I went back there to see if I could talk to the tow truck driver to see if I could show him the company that I worked for, and then I was just doing a delivery. I was only there for 6 minutes. He kind of refused to talk to me, and then the lady stepped up to me and was very rude to me and asked me to go back, behind the fence, which I did. But by that time, the police had already arrived, and they were already talking with the police, and the police interviewed them, and they had to sign something so that they could pay. And then I spoke with a nice gentleman Officer Justice. So he said his name was. I didn't see his badge, but he talked to me and informed me that it's a civil matter, that it's not a criminal matter, but they can address an issue. If someone calls them, they can inform them that if you get towed, that it becomes a civil matter, and you can sue in small claims court later on. So you can take them to court if you choose to follow that path. And so I said thank you, and then I showed him some of my footage to show that before we got to the whole thing about the civil issue of, you can go to civil court and sue a towing company. I showed him the footage and say, listen, I didn't really tell him I had a show. I I don't always just throw that out there, but I do tell them that I record, that I vlog. Basically, I don't use the word vlog with them. I just said, well, I do record some of my deliveries, and I'd like to show you. And it has come helpful in the past. People, I'd let you know, dealing with the police. If you have footage, you can show the police the footage, and it's very quickly understood exactly what you're talking about, because you use a lot of language if you're talking to a police officer. But when you show video footage, it's very clear very quickly. So he understood, okay, I can see it says future resident parking. But the lady officer said, well, are you a future resident? And I said, I see what you're saying, because she was talking about that particular apartment, which is a very nice apartment. And all I had to do was park maybe a few yards over on the side of the road where the other cars were, and they wouldn't even towed me. So this is a legalistic thing. And I say, I see what you're saying. And then they were saying, well, we can't step in and do anything. And, and I don't know if that's the case with every single towing case, but it's frightening. But I wanted to address the issue, I guess, for 8 minutes, because the vlog is not as long as usual. And I usually eat at this moment, kind of doing some Charlie Chaplin funny stuff, because I have a history in the theater and acting. That's why I have this theater history book right here, right next to me. And, here's another book that I have, Breaking the Rules in Theater. And another one that I have here, which is a bio on Marlon Brando. So, and then, of course I have what every actor always has. If you ever go to an actor's house, probably even Sean Penn has it, is going to be these 3 books: Creating a Role, Building a Character, and An Actor Prepares, which is Stanislavski, which these are very tough reads. And another one I suggest too for acting, real quick, especially auditioning, is Michael Sherlock's Audition. It's a pretty good one if you have to go to a lot of auditions. Also, if this brings attention, because I have a feeling this one might eventually get some attention, Robert Redford passed away, and it's like, rest in peace, Robert Redford. I don't know what he would say about towing, but he did appreciate independent cinema and independent. He probably liked the YouTubers. Going back to everything, the police addressed the issue. So look, the civil matter, feel free to do what you need to do, but you can get a lawyer. You may sue them in small claims court if you need to. But they have their own, way of doing things, and I guess they towed it because you were there for 6 minutes. So they moved on and went on for more important calls. The reason they were called was overheated. It was overheated thing. But what I'd like to say is that, be careful whenever you're doing deliveries and look for the towing sign. I think by law they have to have that towing sign clear, and it wasn't in every slot. So you could probably win. I could probably take them if I wanted to take them to court, but I probably won't. That's Kitty making noise. Kitty, okay. A lot of stuff happens. I try to bring in the present moment of things that happen, and even in thought. But ultimately, just be careful. Make sure that you can see the towing sign, or look out for a towing sign. And if you are a tow truck driver, be respectful to some of the delivery people, because, well, they're trying to make a living, and we don't always see the towing sign. I saw the future resident sign. I just didn't see the towing sign behind it. $331, it's a lot for me right now. I'm still not making really anything on YouTube. I think last year, I won't say the amount we made, but it wasn't very much at all. But I was able to get it going again. I think that's about all I wanted to say. I just wanted to bring about, I just wanted to bring attention to the whole situation of towing in Fort Worth and tow truck companies and the shadiness behind it. Now, whether they kind of stalk the place and kind of like reconnaissance and kind of watch over the place, and then they get a call, or they go in and they pick it up immediately, or they circle around and they get people that just park there for a minute that are doing delivery, I think that's low. Because people are trying to get food to other people and go up to their apartments. And I've had any problems with any places at all. And I've been doing this stuff for maybe like more than 5 years. This is the first time actively doing food delivery, and this happening to me was like the first time. When I worked for Angie Services, that was because I was under covered parking. I don't ever park under covered parking ever again, if I'm in an apartment complex. My suggestion, one thing to people, if you are doing delivery, if you can get a hold of the person, which I was able to get a hold of the person, sometimes it's better just to meet in those situations, like meet at the lobby or meet with your delivery driver outside. A lot of people are respectful on doing that because it can help them out. Other than that, just want to say goodnight. And this will be at the tail end of probably the vlog itself. I'll have to see because it's about 12 minutes that I was talking. I just want to say thank you to the officers for just being respectful. Also, police, I've noticed, I don't know if they're getting more training, because I've had some kind of crazy vlogs in the past about the police that I feel really bad about since the loss of my sister, and I've kind of seen a new take on it, and I do now try to tell them thank you for your service, because I know there was also a very crazy thing that I passed by, the motorcycle wreck. I didn't show a lot of that, and they were there very quickly. And Shoek, who was an officer that he probably could have saved my life, or he did save my life, when he showed up within 7 minutes when I had the issue at the sandwich shop that's in the vlog that's probably pretty viral. He helped and was respectful to me and considered what I was going through. But I just want to say thank you to them. And then, of course, also the tow truck people. Remember that we're kind of in a panic, and I wanted to at least try to talk to the tow truck driver. But I understand that it was still on the tow truck when I was trying to talk to the tow truck driver inside their yard. But I understand that paying for it is, in some cases, a peaceful way out of the situation. And I did my very best to do that. And I think that's the right decision, to get on with the end of that night. I remember even when I was younger, back in the day, when we'd go out to Dallas, to Deep Ellum, we'd get towed, it'd be like $70. We have to get the next day. But this is my hometown, and I just didn't pay attention to that detail, or didn't see it because of how the lights were, or just because of how things were in that apartment complex. I just didn't see it very well. All right. Also, I would like to say one last thing. Sincere thanks to Cam. What you did was very cordial and respectful, and you did not have to drive me there. You didn't ask for any gas money or anything. And I actually, towards the end, I know you were going to help take me to where I needed to go to get the money, and I told you, don't worry about it. I'd cover the additional 3% charge if you're using a card rather than paying with cash. And he was cool with that, and hung out for more than 10 minutes to make sure that I at least talked to the clerk and I was ready to go to the next situation. He did have to go to work the next day, and he informed me that, and I knew he had to go at that point. I was almost stranded. All right. So now we're going to watch, and we're going to look out for tow truck signs, or we're going to look out for towing enforced signs, and just, when you're parking, if it says future resident and then behind it says towing, which I think is shady, don't park there. If the future resident sign wasn't there, I probably, would have, I probably wouldn't have parked there if I just saw the towing sign. But I thought it was for maybe the handicap sections or something like that. One thing that they could do is right next to the future resident sign, they could have an actual pole sign that says towing next to it, and that'd be a little more threatening. All right, that's 15 minutes. Thanks so much. You have a good night. Thanks for watching. I haven't been able to always talk to you guys. I know the vlog has changed. I'm calling out a lot of numbers, and I'm trying to document the mileage and trying to get all that for future reference. I know it can be useful in the future, and I'm also in need to trying to upgrade some of my technology, and so that I would be able to show more. But I'm only able to show. I have to keep the phone very stable, and the phone's very sensitive. It's an older phone. It's an iPhone 11, so I have to keep it very sensitive. I have to keep it very still and flat. It's very sensitive with the plug. So that's why I'm leaning over and saying the numbers out loud rather than showing the Apple CarPlay, which I would rather do that because it's easier to do. Or sometimes I'll show the mileage that's on the actual screen device or the actual monitor that goes with the car. It provides GPS tracking and the mileage, so I can reveal that. I can do that too, two different ways. That's what I was going to say is you're probably going to see more of that lately. Then I'll check in, and when the vlog progresses and it gets better, then we'll earn more viewers, and we'll become a stronger vlog entity on YouTube. All right, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the officers. Thanks to the citizen Cam, citizen Cam, for just helping, and also the tow truck people. I mean, I think they understood I was upset, and that I just wanted to talk to the tow truck driver, and he's like, go back behind over there, and then she'll take care of it. They weren't as strict with me as the people that were in front of me, who they wouldn't even allow. Another thing, watch your behavior there, because they don't have to serve you. They're still a business, So businesses have the right to compete, but they're still a business, and so that you have to be nice to them. And so the officers talked to them so that they could at least pay, and they were able. I think they were able to get their vehicle and get out. All right. Thank goodness. Prayers to everyone. Robert Redford and his family. Blessings, and just want to say one last thing about Robert Redford. All the President's Men, which is a Pukla film I've mentioned a few times in the vlog, inspired me maybe to go off and do the things that I do. Him and Dustin Hoffman were brilliant in that movie. I think it's Pukla. I think that's how you say the director's name. But go out and see that as respect to Robert Redford, as well as Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Him and Paul Newman are great. All right. You have a good night. I didn't want to keep it all just about the towing truck. I wanted to say a little bit about acting. I was a theater actor for maybe 50 shows. Did a little bit in New York, a little bit in California. I've worked with some Hollywood directors that are still present today. I even worked with Frank Darabont on The Majestic, where I was shoulder to shoulder one time with Jim Carrey. And I worked with Drake Doremus, who's a great director, who's still rising, and just released a film this year, which has been 5 years since he's released anything. So I know some people in Hollywood, and I just want to let you know, I do plan to return. I do plan to bring the vlog there, whether I visit there or whether I even in my 50s, because I'm still acting. Even in my 50s, I tried to just do it again, because there is money in the entertainment field as long as you are professional, respectful, and you don't have to follow all the rules, not when it comes to the art, but you do have to be respectful. I'm learning that. All right. I think I've said some good things. You understand my intentions. Now it's at 20 minutes. You have a good night. All right.